Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we have a different kind of video. Now I have been getting a lot of requests to recreate my first drag look. Now my first drag look, questionable. She thought she was a woman. She was nowhere near the sort. So I'm going to be doing my first ever drag look, and I do actually have most of the products that I used to use. A lot of W7 going on. This is going to be cheap. This is going to be crap. This is going to be absolutely garbage. And I can't wait. So before we head into this video, please remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And give this video a little thumbs up and a comment down below as well. It really helps out me a lot. So let's just jump in and do some absolutely terrible makeup. So, brows. Well, I didn't do anything to my brows back then. I had actual brows. So I drew these on this morning. So we're just going to leave them be. They're a bit worn away. They're a bit, you know, crap. We're just going to leave them and continue. Now, I did my face first when I used to do makeup. So I'm going to start off with the face before the eyes. And for primer, I'm going to use the Prime Magic by W7. This is the primer I used to use. Oh, it's actually pretty good. So I'm going to take this on the back of the hand. It's a very silicone-y, jelly kind of primer. I can't believe they still make it. I started drag in 2015. That's when I started doing makeup and wigs and all that kind of stuff. And I wanted to start drag, and I actually wanted to be a Nicki Minaj impersonator. I wanted to go as her as Halloween, and I wanted to just do everything she did. And it didn't really turn out like that at all, did it? And then after practicing for ages for that Halloween moment, I just fell in love with drag, fell in love with makeup. 6 years later, here we are, teaching other people how to be just as crap as I was. I also haven't shaved really. I mean, I did shave yesterday, but I didn't shave back then. I didn't know how to shave properly, so we're going full on realistic. So foundation, I am going to use the W7 HD foundation. Now this is pretty good, not gonna lie, and it is almost my colour. Now I used to just take a sponge, any sponge, and I just used to slap it on. Oh, it feels so weird doing face before eyes. So I used to slap it on and then buff it in. I also used to do makeup really fast because I used to practice it when no one else knew I did makeup. So that's why I'm going really fast with this. I used to do it in like 20 minutes. That's how fast I used to do makeup. It was that rubbish, alright? I wonder if this makeup's gonna look as bad as it used to. Or is it gonna look a little bit better? Is it gonna look worse? Who knows? And I am gonna try and do a good job. I mean, come on, I'm not gonna look too crazy. And I did take my foundation onto my eyes as well. I didn't use primers back then, and I thought this is just gonna cover up the patches on my eye. And there we have it, the foundation's on. I'd say it's a medium coverage. It's a medium to full coverage. I mean, look at it, pretty good to me. Now, concealer was a tricky one because I didn't really use concealer that much. I used to use these palettes, and I used to use the highlight colours and the contour colours for highlight and contouring. However, I did used to use concealer, but it wasn't concealer. It's a bit weird. I used to use them little lipstick ones, like occasionally. And then I used to use this a little bit. I used to like mix it up. So I'm actually going to use the W7 Hideout full cover one. But I don't do the concealer that they used to do. So I'm just going to try this one. And I used to use a concealer that was very yellow and not very brightening. So just like this one. I mean, look at that. Very yellow undertones, not bright enough for my face. And I still used to take it up all the way up like that. I used to still put this on the eye as well. I mean, my contouring and concealer has not really changed that much in the way I do it. I used to cover my nose in concealer. I didn't really think about contouring my nose. I don't even think I did contour my nose back then. I'll have a look at the picture. A little bit on the chin, some on the forehead. Now what I did do is I did take some concealer down here. I always used to do that and kind of cut the cheek. I think I used to do it after contour, but I'm just gonna do it now. Why not? Right, so that's basically what I did with concealer. I didn't do anything amazing with it. So now we're gonna go on to contouring. So I'm gonna take the Lift and Sculpt palette. I can't really remember if this is the one I used to use. I think it's the same palette, it's just different packaging. But this is what I used to do. I used to take the contour shade, which is this one right here, and I used to take my finger. I know. So I used to take my finger into this shade. Oh, this feels wrong. And I used to pat contour in the finger. That's how I used to do my contouring. I used to literally just do this. Same on the other side. Now I do remember doing the contour there, and I do remember going up along here. I didn't do it like I do now, which is all the way down. I literally just did the little beige rainbow technique like that. That's literally all I do for the forehead. And for the jaw, I literally used to just tap on my jawline. Nothing amazing. And I'm pretty sure I didn't contour my nose, but I'm gonna put just a tad, because I can't remember if I did or not, so. Then I'm going to take the same sponge and just blend that in. Am I actually crazy, or is this actually looking kind of good? I mean, it's not looking drag, is it? But like, you know, normal, if I want to just go out as a boy. Like subtle glam. This looks pretty good. I mean, it's glowy. Wait until we get to the eyes and lips, then you'll think, oof. I think that's pretty good. That contour colour is definitely pretty fab. Now, obviously I didn't have all these lights here either, so these lights probably making me look a lot better, but I used to get really natural lighting. So now for powder, I just used to use, I think it was a Technic powder. It was just some random powder that I just used. And I don't have that powder, so I am using RCMA, it's just translucent. But I do have the very first brush I bought. This is a Revolution brush from 6 years ago. And I used to use this for powder. And I used to just plop it all over the face, like this. I'm pretty sure I washed this brush, but I never used to wash this brush. I haven't washed any of my brushes today because I never did. Don't I look really weird? It looks okay, but there's no dimension to my face really, is there? Oh. So now this is where I'd go into the eye part. I used to do that, set the face, and then do eyes. Then I'd go back and bronze and stuff like that. For eyes, we actually have two palettes I still have to this day that I used to use. Now I always used to use the Morphe 35K palette. This is 6 years old. This is buggered. I mean, that is basically all the colours I'd ever use. It's got the browns, it's got the black, everything I wanted. And I remember getting this and being like, woohoo! I mean, you can tell which one I used to set the base right here. However, I also did get, now this is probably about 5 years old. This is a Kylie Cosmetics, what is it? Take Me to the Beach? I don't know. Peach? This is the Kylie Peach palette I used to use all the time. That is the one I set my base. I'm going to use a mixture of them, I think. I think I'm going to do these as transition-y colours, and I'm going to dip into the darker ones in that palette. So the first thing I would do is I'd take the lightest shade, which is this one right here, and I would set my entire eye space with this. So I'd literally just set all the eye space with that light shadow. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing this. I mean, some people still do this now, but it just leaves it patchy and no. I hate doing this. Oh, I'm actually hating this. And I would take it up to the crease. By the way, today we're going to be doing some kind of like smoky non-cut crease. I used to attempt to do a smoky eye and a cut crease at the same time. It was really weird. Like, I'd cut the crease, but I wouldn't cut the crease. You'll see, you'll see. But it's going to be more of a soft, glam, smoky vibes. Because I never took my crease high enough. I never realised about my hooded eyes. And I just apply all the shadow onto the lid like a normal person, and it would never show up. So that's what we're going to do. Now, brush-wise, I actually used to use all fluffy brushes. I never used to use tiny little ones. So I'm going to be using all little fluffy brushes. Now, I do remember taking this shade right here, this very peachy one, and I used to use this on the outer corner. Oh, this feels wrong. This feels disgusting. So I'd always put this on the outer corner, and I did do the little V shape like I'm doing now. However, I wouldn't take it any higher than that. That's like the limit of my eyeshadow. And I remember I used to plop this here, and then I used to go into my actual crease with this shade and just kind of smudge it around, kind of like this. Now, the one issue I always had with my old makeup style is that I'd always have a shadow here. I didn't care, did I? I just shoved it in there, right into that bone. I didn't really make any shapes or anything. Oh my god, this, oh. It looks exactly how I used to do it. Crap. So that's literally what I do to the eye. That is literally what I do. I can't believe honestly how much I've changed makeup wise over the years. I remember struggling, really struggling to get any kind of makeup done. Even when I was out as a drag queen, I remember really struggling to get simple stuff down. I've always been really good at face makeup, surprisingly. But eyes, oh my god. Eyes are like my biggest struggle. I always used to take the shade all the way down here as well. And I used to do circular motions around this bit, because that's what everyone did back then on YouTube. Oh my god, this looks awful. And I did do some blending back then. I used to take the shade that we set the base with and blend this out. This palette's not doing too bad. I mean, I'm not giving it a fair chance, but this is the only Kylie Cosmetics product I've ever owned. And it's alright. Now I did take a, let's say a smaller fluffy brush, we'll use this one. And I did take this shade here. And those were pretty much the only shades I used in this palette. And I'd put that deeper into the crease. Now I used to use like a million different shades, but it'd look like one. That's just how I used to do makeup. And it was always either an orange eye or a peach eye or some kind of cool tone nude. I didn't know what I was doing. This is why I don't do peachy eyes now. I think I'm just traumatized. So I literally shoved this darker colour all in the crease. I even put some on the lid. I really did not care. Oh my god. Every time I look in the mirror I'm like, ooh. Oh, I think I could cry. Oh, my skin does not look good. Oh, my skin's, I've got a lot of stubble going on. Please excuse the stubble. So now we're going to go into this palette right here. I'm going to take some darker, this palette does not want me to open it. Oh my god. Now I used to take 2 colours from this palette, literally 2 colours, and I'm going to use them. So I used to take another fluffy brush. I'm actually being fair today. I'm using smaller brushes. I know it's kind of cheating, but I'm not looking that bad. I used to use this one here for like the darkest brown. I used to use the black, and I think I used to use this one here. So I'm going to use this one now. So I'm taking that deep brown, and I used to literally just go on top of whatever I was doing, like this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Now I got into makeup. It wasn't just like me just suddenly getting into makeup. I mean, I wanted to be Nikki for Halloween because I just wanted to be Nikki. But I used to watch a lot of YouTube tutorials, and Drag Race, obviously, that inspired me. But I think I was watching, well, they were all problematic YouTubers, I'll just say that. Very problematic YouTubers. And I was very obsessed with all of them. I loved the drama, I loved the makeup. I just loved it all. And I just like, well, I want to do that someday. Oh, I'm not liking it. I'm not liking this at all. Now I'm going to go into the black eyeshadow and a smidge of the dark brown. I used to mix them all the time. And I am going to start putting this more towards in the lid. Now I didn't really use liner back then. I just used to use this black shadow at the V part. Now I didn't take it all the way in. I literally used it on this outer V. And I'm pretty sure I used a really fluffy big brush for this. But I mean, I'm ruining it already with this brush. I literally just shove black in there, and then I take just a blending brush with some colour on it and blend that out. Doesn't really matter if they're even, because I never cared if they're even. And I used to always get fallout, and I'd try and brush it away, but it'd never go away. And I'd always end up with little black marks everywhere, which actually isn't happening today for some reason. Then we would go into some shimmers. So for shimmers, I did actually use a flat brush. I'm pretty sure it was this brush, this Morphe brush. Now, what shimmer should I use? I didn't really like any in the Kylie palette. I never really liked them ones. So we'll go back into this palette right here. And it looks like, I'm just judging, that these two, that one and that one, were the shimmers that I like to use. I'll dip into this really bright one first and see what happens with that. I think it's going to be too bright. I know I normally never say that, but yeah, that is too bright. I never use this. Oh well, whatever, it's in a corner. So this is how I would cut the crease. Now I'm going to go into that other shade. I literally just put some shimmer across the lid. And I didn't really focus on it too much. I didn't really try. I just kind of patted it on. In fact, I'm pretty sure I used to use my finger as well. These shimmers are old, you can tell. Look how dusty they are. They've got more fallout than the actual shadows. So I'm going to take my finger and just a little bit of this gold one and just kind of do that. That's basically what I used to do. Kind of just plop it on there. Now it might seem like I'm not really trying. I'm not. This is how I used to literally do my makeup. So now I'm blending the crease because I'd always make a sharp line and then kind of blend it away because I knew it wasn't good enough. And now I'd take the lightest peach and I'd run that all underneath the eye. I'd always have an under eye moment going on, always will. And I always just used to use the lightest shade and kind of run it under. Not being fancy. I always used to get shimmer under my eyes as well, and my under eyes would look really shiny. Now this looks absolutely terrible. What I am going to do is just touch up the brows with a little bit of brow powder, just the same palette. I didn't used to do this. I used to use like a little brow gel. Even if I did have brow gel, it wouldn't work. And I did used to take the deepest brown that we just did. I mean, I used to use this for the eyes, so I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure this is allowed. And I used to have really dark brows as well. Thick, dark brown brows. And they weren't even this shaped. They weren't this shaped at all. They were fluffy, they were manly, they were awful. So at least the brows are better then. I ain't done anything really to them and they're still better. Oh my god, I look awful. So now for contouring, yeah, that's it. We're done with the eyes. Can't remember what palette I used to use, but I have had this for a while and I have used this like all the time. So this is a NYX Contour Palette and I used to take a brush just like this one, just an angled brush, and I used to take the lightest shade, this one right here, and I used to just go like that. It wasn't even that blended. I literally used to just go like this. And I'd always go across the forehead. Now I always use the lightest contour. I mean, it's got some other product on it because I wanted to be contoured. I didn't like orange bronzer back then for some reason. Now that's all I put on. Now all the products I used to use, I mean, I think most of them are still in stock. I mean, it was only 2015. I used to use mainly W7, a lot of Revolution products. I used to always use Revolution. For my 18th, so like the year after, I did get a MAC foundation and I started using MAC. And then I was using Urban Decay and I was using all the big stuff. But most of the time I just use cheap products like this. This is literally how my contour would look. Oh my god. Now what I did used to use is like a Revolution shimmery bronzer, but I don't have that now. It was like a baked bronzer, I don't know if I still do them. So I'm just going to use this Topshop one, which has got a little bit of shimmer in it. Same brush, I always used to use the same brush. I used to go over the contour with that. I remember buying that baked bronzer and being way too orange for my skin tone, but I just weren't using makeup right, was I? I mean, come on. I mean, using a shimmery bronzer and a matte face, it's not really the best, but here we go. Oh, look off. So now for blush, I did actually have this Morphe blush palette. This is the exact same one I used to use. And I think you can tell which colour I used to use the most. And I used to take a brush just like this, another angled brush. I'm going to take that very light peachy shade. Now I did actually use this pink as well, so I'm going to use that pink. And you'll see now why I never wear pink blush. I used to always put it right there. Like I'd put it there and then I'd blend it out, but I always used to leave like a big pink bit right there. And I'd take all this and make all this blushy, and then I'd take the peach one and just kind of warm it up a little bit. And I still used to take blush onto the forehead. Even back then, I used to take blush onto the forehead, onto the nose, and onto the chin. I've always done that. I can't really remember contouring my nose, but I'm just going to do a very light contour because if I did, and I'd just literally get a fluffy brush, some of that contour shade. I'd literally just go down my nose like this and that was it. And I do remember connecting my nose contour when I did it to my eyeshadow. Oh, I look like a clown. You won't be able to believe this, but we're almost done. What would I do next? Highlighter. Now the highlighter, I used to use this Revolution one. It's called the Illuminator. I don't have it anymore. I remember smashing it. But it is still available, as I remember. It is on Beauty Bay, I believe. So we're going to use this little Revolution highlighter, this little star one. And I used to use just a big fluffy brush. And I used to just literally put it on like normal. I think I used to take it all the way up here as well. But I mean, there's nothing fantastic about highlighter. On the nose, I used to really cover the forehead in this stuff. I do remember that. And on the inner corner, I used to always put it on the inner corner. And I used to put it on the brow bone as well. Even if it would ruin the eyeshadow, I always used to put it on the brow bone. Oh, this looks absolutely... Oh. I can't believe I'm showing myself on YouTube like this. Now for eyeliner, I did actually used to use a pencil. I actually have the same pencil. It's the Primark Brow Crayon in black. This is what I used to use for my eyeliner. I literally used to use this and just scrape it on. I'm not going to use that because it's got no lid and it's been here for like 5 years and it needs to go in the bin. So I'm just going to use a normal eyeliner. Any will do. And I used to just literally go across my eyeline with the thinnest line, kind of like that. Now I never did a wing, and if I did, it was like one of them rubbish flicky things. But I always used to do this little inner corner bit here. I always used to draw a little line connecting the two. I mean, that is rubbish, but literally what I did. And then I would get the waterline. I'd do the waterline with the same pencil. Oh, kind of like that. Oh, look, absolutely awful. Do you like my makeup?
It's beautiful.
Basically, I used to do this makeup all the time. Like, this is the only makeup I'd ever do. And I tried different things and it was always end up looking like this. I mean, I'll insert loads of pictures. They all look like this. However, the only thing I changed was the lip. And I had 3 lipsticks. I basically had a pink, a red, and 1 nude. And I never really used to wear the nude at all. I'd really only ever wear the pink, like most of the time, or I'd wear the red if I was like pushing it, being, you know, crazy. So I'm going to start by using the exact same pink lipstick that I used to use. And I'll use the nude and then I'll use the red just to try it out. Try different looks. So the lipstick I used to use is Saint Germain by MAC. Anybody a fan of Saint Germain? This is just a pale Barbie pink. I got this from MAC because Nicki Minaj wore it and she used to wear it all the time, so I bought it. And I never used a lip liner either. I know, scary times, people. I literally just used to use the lipstick. And I didn't really overdraw either, I literally just put it on. So here we go, Saint Germain. Oh no! This makes me look ill. I don't know who this lipstick is working for. To be fair, after like 6 years, I've had this 6 years and it is still creamy. It's still got that weird smell. Would you book a drag queen with this? Would you book a makeup artist that looked like this? So I'm going to wipe this off because it's crap. Now for nude, I can't remember what nude I used to use. I think it was like a Revolution one, but I have had this Kate Rimmel London one for ages. I used to use this like 4 years ago. So this is pretty much the nude I used to use. And this is still a good nude. That's a good lipstick. Imagine this lipstick with like an actual liner and if I'd actually tried. I do like the Rimmel lipsticks. Maybelline, L'Oreal, all good lipsticks. However, I never used to use nudes. I used to think they made me look really pale and really weird, like I've got no lips. I mean, I've got no lip liner on, so that's probably why. However, the lipstick I would have worn with this, and the picture I'm basing this off, is a nice red lip. So let's take this little nude off. Now for red lipstick, I always used to go in with the MAC Ruby Woo. This I got at the same time as Saint Germain one. I also got Candy Yum Yum, if you're a fan of MAC lipsticks. Now I used to wear this all the time. I'd always wear the red lip. So let's slap this on. Now that is a good red lipstick. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's classic. However, this lipstick has not aged well at all. In fact, this is probably the one lipstick or the one product that's not aged well and is definitely out of date. It was like cardboard going on my lips, not smooth at all. Now I did actually use setting spray. Now I didn't really use setting spray back then. I am gonna go put some lashes and some mascara and a wig on, and I'll be back for the final look. Right guys, so this is a finished look. Can't look in the mirror. I did shove on this little wig. This wig is a wig in progress. Don't judge the wig. I haven't glued it down or anything. I never used to glue my wigs down. In fact, I think I used to wear hard front wigs, so fit it. But this is my finished recreation of my first drag look. I hate how I look so much. Why did I think this was good? I used to post these looks. I used to post them on Instagram and Facebook and I'm like, look how good I am. I look like a whore. I look insane. I'm never doing this again. So you guys wanted a recreation of my very first drag look and here it is. Warts and all. I didn't bother to change. I didn't bother with jewellery. I mean, come on. I don't even think I wore costumes back then. I'm pretty sure I just literally... Come on, you stupid wig. Come on, behave yourself. I didn't even wear costumes back then. I didn't even wear jewellery or anything, so why start now? But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this absolutely disgusting and ugly journey, if you don't mind me saying. I will say my face looks okay. The foundation's alright. The concealer's done okay. It's not too bad, but the eyes and like, oh. Also, I used to wear Primark lashes, but I'm not wearing Primark lashes. I don't have any, and I'm not wearing any. full stop. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this experience, and I can't wait to see you all on the next video. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe down below and leave a little like and comment as well. I don't look this bad all the time, I promise. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye guys.